Just when the royal family thought the Megxit chapter had finally been closed, a shocking new twist has royal watchers asking one explosive question: are Harry and Meghan quietly trying to reverse the very decision that changed their lives forever? Because after years of criticism, interviews, documentaries, accusations, and public battles, the Duke and Duchess who once walked away from royal life now appear to be heading back toward the very country they claimed they wanted to leave behind. And this time, they are not coming alone. They are reportedly bringing Archie and Lilibet with them. Suddenly, what looked like a simple visit is starting to feel like something much bigger, something far more complicated. And some people believe the real story is hiding beneath the surface. Meghan Markle once seemed determined to create an entirely new life far away from Britain. The message was clear. The future was California. The future was freedom. The future was independence. But now, with reports suggesting that Harry, Meghan, and their children could return to the United Kingdom within weeks, many are wondering whether the couple are quietly attempting to rewrite the ending of the Megxit story itself. Because if they truly wanted distance, why return now? Why bring the children? Why suddenly place themselves back into the center of royal conversation after years of insisting they were moving forward?
Harry and their children are coming back to the United Kingdom in a matter of weeks.
Haven't you suffered enough?
Well, yes, to be honest. So,
officially, the reason appears straightforward. The Invictus Games are approaching and preparations are underway, but critics are raising eyebrows. They are pointing at the timing. They are pointing at the scale of the visit. They are pointing at Meghan's reported involvement. For months, many assumed Harry would travel alone, handle business related to the games, and leave quietly. Instead, reports now suggest a full family appearance. And that changes everything, because a solo work trip is one thing. A family return is another story entirely.
Breaking today, Meghan Markle is turning her back on her solemn vow to Omid Scobie never to re-enter Britain. She will be back next month with Archie, Lily, and Prince Harry in what is an audacious and sick bid to reverse Megxit. I think this is a disgusting decision.
Behind palace walls, whether anyone says it publicly or not, there is a growing sense that this visit carries enormous symbolism. The Invictus Games remain deeply connected to Harry's identity, but some commentators believe the event also needs something else: royal relevance. Royal prestige, royal attention, the kind of attention only the monarchy can generate. And here's where things become uncomfortable. The royal family has spent years rebuilding its image. Prince William and Princess Catherine have become increasingly popular. King Charles has stabilized the institution during difficult times. The palace machine keeps moving forward without Harry, without Meghan. And that reality creates a question nobody seems eager to answer. If the monarchy has successfully moved on, where exactly does Harry fit now? The silence surrounding that question feels louder than any official statement.
I think Harry actually wants to come back into the fold for the simple reason of money. I think that there are financial issues looming on the gates of Montecito. They've got a very expensive lifestyle, him and Meghan, to upkeep, and those pots of jam aren't selling out on the website. So I know it sounds trivial, but I do think it's a bit of a craven pass at getting back in.
That is why speculation continues to grow. Some observers believe Harry and Meghan are attempting a gradual image reset, not a dramatic return, not a public surrender, something subtler, something strategic, a soft re-entry into the British conversation, a slow rebuilding of connections that once seemed permanently broken. Others go even further. They argue this could be the closest thing yet to revisiting the half-in, half-out arrangement that Queen Elizabeth firmly rejected years ago, an arrangement that both King Charles and Prince William have reportedly shown no interest in reviving.
No half in, half out members of the royal family, even Harry. That is reportedly the ultimatum that King Charles delivered to his son when the pair met at Clarence House this month after the Duke of Sussex visited London after travelling from the United States. The demand is in line with the late Queen Elizabeth's request that members of the royal family not undertake official duties while also earning money.
That rejection remains one of the biggest shadows hanging over this entire story, because the monarchy drew a line, a very public line, inside or outside, working royal or private citizen, no middle ground, no special exceptions, no custom-made royal package. Yet critics argue that Harry and Meghan have never completely stopped orbiting the institution they left behind. Royal titles titles remain valuable, royal connections remain powerful, royal headlines remain irresistible. And now, after business setbacks, canceled deals, fading Hollywood excitement, and endless public scrutiny, some commentators believe the dream that once looked glamorous suddenly feels a lot more complicated. The question is not whether Harry misses Britain. The question is how much.
And particularly his wife, they brought it on themselves, and I understand the reluctance of the king to want to sit down and talk to his son at this stage. And look, I hope that they can patch up their differences somewhere down the track.
What makes this story even more explosive is that the announcement itself arrived wrapped in controversy. Because according to critics, the timing felt almost too familiar, almost like a pattern repeating itself once again. Royal watchers immediately noticed that news of Harry and Meghan's reported UK return surfaced at the exact moment attention was focused elsewhere on Prince William and Princess Catherine. Suddenly, instead of headlines celebrating royal ascot and the future king and queen, conversation shifted back toward California's most famous royal exiles. Coincidence? Maybe deliberate? Critics certainly think so. And in royal circles, timing is rarely viewed as accidental.
And the timing of this announcement today is particularly disgusting, given that this was meant to be Prince William and Catherine's moment at Royal Ascot.
The accusations came quickly. Why not wait a day? Why not wait a week? Why announce such significant news during a major royal event? Those questions immediately flooded social media and royal commentary panels. Whether fair or unfair, Harry and Meghan once again found themselves facing allegations that they were competing with working royals for public attention. It is a criticism that has followed them for years, and this latest development only added fuel to an already raging fire. Yet beneath all the criticism lies a far more emotional possibility. What if Harry genuinely misses home? What if the headlines, the controversies, and the endless public battles have hidden something much simpler? Loneliness, regret, nostalgia. Because for all the drama surrounding him, Harry spent most of his life in Britain. His childhood memories are there. His friends are there. His family history is there. The places connected to his mother are there. The life he knew before California is there. And some royal commentators believe that reality has become impossible to ignore. More importantly, there are Archie and Lilibet, the children growing up thousands of miles away from the country that shaped generations of their family. Reports suggest Harry wants them to understand their British heritage, to know where they come from, and to experience connections that currently exist only through stories, photographs, and occasional visits. For Harry, bringing his children back may not simply be about publicity. It may be about identity. It may be about making sure they understand a part of themselves that cannot be recreated in Montecito. But then comes the other side of the argument, the side that refuses to believe this is simply a family visit. Critics point toward Meghan's growing business ambitions, lifestyle products, branding projects, commercial ventures, public visibility. Whether fair or not, some observers argue that a highly publicized return to Britain would create enormous media exposure. Every appearance would generate headlines. Every photograph would spark discussion. Every interaction would dominate news cycles. In an age where attention equals influence, that kind of publicity carries undeniable value. And that is where the situation becomes dangerous for the monarchy, because even if Harry's intentions are personal, the consequences could quickly become political. The relationship between Harry and William remains one of the biggest unresolved tensions in modern royal history. Years of interviews, allegations, memoir revelations, documentaries, and public disagreements have left scars that cannot simply disappear because of one visit. Behind every smiling photograph would be unanswered questions. Behind every public appearance would be memories of old wounds. Behind every handshake would be years of damaged trust. Then there is King Charles himself, perhaps the most fascinating mystery in this entire story, because nobody truly knows what he will do. Some believe that age, illness, and family realities have softened his position. They argue that a father eventually reaches a point where reconciliation matters more than pride. Others believe the opposite. They argue that Charles understands exactly what is at stake. He has spent years trying to stabilize the monarchy, protect its reputation, and move beyond the turbulence of the past. Why would he risk reopening the very chapter he worked so hard to close? And that brings us to the question nobody can answer. Even if Harry returns, even if Meghan returns, even if the children return, can trust return too? Because trust is not rebuilt with a plane ticket. Trust is not restored with a family photograph. Trust is not repaired through headlines. The interviews happened. The documentaries happened. The memoir happened. The private conversations became public. The damage became real.